Miami Hurricanes are now in the room with us here. We will first have our questions and answers with Bruce Brown Jr., and then we will bring up afterwards Jaquan Newton. Questions from the floor for Bruce as we start our Q&A with the student athletes. Bruce will go first row to our left.
Bruce, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just speak on your expanded role this season and what you can say about trying to establish some leadership this year as well.
I think we have a lot of young guys this year. As you know, we are a young team. So me stepping up and trying to be that leader, me and Jaquan, to the freshmen. I've tagged them along a little bit, trying to get them to know certain situations, read certain things. So helping them would be a big help.
Other questions for Bruce from out on the floor? Bruce, we'll go third row to our left.
Bruce, Don Munson from Clemson Tigers Network. You talk about a young team. So what have you all done away from basketball to kind of help with chemistry? Because chemistry would certainly, you think, would be a big part of what you have to get to do.
We do a lot together. We hang out together. We actually went paintballing together just to have a little a team-oriented thing. But we're always in the locker room, joking, laughing, having a good time.
Let's stay on the left side, one row back at the aisle.
Bruce, Justin Kutcher with Raycom. Last year, you kind of burst onto the scene, explosive, everything. What was it this offseason that you were working on to improve for this year?
I worked on a lot of ball handling and shooting off the dribble. I've heard I was like one of the worst college basketball players to shoot off the dribble, so I needed to work on that a lot. But yeah, it was just time in the gym, shooting off the dribble, shooting off the catch, and yeah.
That was an unofficial poll. Do you know who it was that told you were one of the worst?
Nah, I don't remember. But when I found out, I was like, that's terrible.
Bruce, you talked about trying to bring the freshmen along. You're not too far removed from being a freshman yourself. What did you learn last year that helps out the young guys?
I learned you got to work hard, and there's no nights off. I remember we were real inconsistent last year, and we had like a real big game. We won by a lot, and then the next game we fell off. So I'm trying to tell them to be more consistent and take every day like it's your last day and play really hard each day.
Other questions for Bruce from out in the room? Bruce, obviously your freshman year, you were very successful in the classroom as well. How did you respond, or how did your mother respond when she found out that you made the academic honor roll?
She loved it. She actually cried when she called me because I've never been on honor roll before. So just her calling me and crying meant so much to me that like I kind of wanted to tear up a little bit, but I couldn't. You know, that's not, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, you didn't want to be known as the number one crier in basketball, right? Other questions for Bruce from out on the floor? Bruce, you had the chance to watch Jaquan Newton play last year a lot. What did you learn from him?
I learned to be poised. Man, Jaquan's a really good player. He's a really good finisher, and he makes his teammates better. And that's what I've learned from him.
Let's go back to Dan, first row to our left.
Bruce, just what you could say about your head coach, what he's done for you to get the most out of you and what he does to bring this team together, because Miami is that team that a lot of people have expectations of this year, so just what you can say about that.
Coach L's a great guy, man. I love him. He expects the best out of you. Even if you're having an off day, he'll bring you to the side, talk to you, ask what's wrong, ask how you're doing, ask how your family's doing. And on the court, he lets you play your game. If you don't attack and he thinks you should attack, he'll call you to the side, tell him, like, bro, go. Like, I don't know what you're doing, go. So I love him, man. He's making me the player I am right now, to be honest with you.
Bruce, last question for you. In high school, you played football, played baseball, you played JV soccer. Of those sports, are there any skills that have translated for you for basketball?
I think I got good footwork from JV soccer. I actually miss playing JV soccer, but I think the footwork helped me out a lot.
Bruce, thank you very much. We'll bring Jaquan up for the hot seat.
Thank you.
Questions from the floor for Jaquan Newton? Jaquan, I'll ask the first then. Your teammate that was a freshman last year, how well did he do, and how will he do as a sophomore, do you think?
How well did he do as a sophomore or freshman?
Oh, I'm sorry, as a sophomore, my mistake.
Well, as a freshman, Bruce came in, as any other freshman, he wasn't really, ready or wasn't really, supposed to be the guy that he's supposed to be right now. But, growing up, and he grew, like, very quick than any other freshman can grow. He came out there and he played hard every night. And then, later on down the line when he played against Duke and the North Carolinas, he showed his true talent. He came out and he burst into the scene very fast.
Let's go to our left, back to Dan in the first row.
Jaquan, where would you say you've improved the most in your game going into this season?
This summer I focused a lot on my jump shot. My jump shot has gotten very good. It gotten better. I've been in the gym, a lot, and I've been proving it in practice. And also, I watched a lot of film over the offseason. Just a lot of film of other point guards. I want to make my players around me better, and I want to get my team involved more.
Jaquan will go left side, fourth row near the aisle. Tim, if we can slide that microphone down here.
Just to follow up, who are some of the point guards that you watched to try to kind of emulate and learn from?
I watched guys like Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, and that's the main point guards I watch because I think my game, focus a lot of things they do. I think I do in my game, so they're the 3 point guards I watch the most.
Jaquan, I'll give you a question from here at the podium. Your dad, Joe, was the 1998 Division II National Player of the Year when he was at Central Oklahoma. Tell us about the family dynamics. How does he rub off on you? What were the skills that you learned growing up? All of that package to make the basketball player you are today. Comment on that.
Type of skills, honestly, my dad was a good finisher around the rim. He had different type of layups, and I think that's where I get it from, especially my layup package and the things I do in the paint, Florida game, and things like that. I think I get a lot from my dad. He's a very good finisher around the rim. He won Player of the Year in Division II, and I think I get my talent from him, and it just runs in the family.
What type of feedback does he give you throughout the year? Obviously, he probably wants to keep a safe distance because he knows you're being well coached, but you're still family. I'm sure you're still talking about your game.
Of course, some games he texts me after the game, or he might text me the next morning, or things like that. He's not the type of dad that compliment me too much, or things like that. He'll say good win. He'll say the things I did good, say the things I did bad, and then we'll go from there.
Other questions for Jaquan? Jaquan, obviously Miami basketball wants to get back to where it really was a couple of years ago. Do you have to be successful this year by way of a trophy? Can you be successful without winning a trophy?
Yeah, I think you can be successful without winning a trophy, especially if you go farther in the tournament. My sophomore year, we went to the Sweet 16. We didn't win the trophy, but, everybody remembered that season. So I think this is going to be a season to remember. We're very talented. I mean, we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of freshmen that's very good, upperclassmen that's very good, sophomores. And I think it's going to be a season to remember, and the goal is to win the trophy. Even if we don't, I think we're still, this is still going to be a season to remember.
Anything else for Jaquan? Jaquan, we'll get you your last question here. Back to Dan, to your left.
Jaquan, going off of that, what makes Miami so dangerous in your opinion this year?
Just the guard play. First, I once thought it was just me and Bruce alone. We're very dangerous. We're very versatile. He's going to be running a point guard. I'm going to be running a point guard. We're going to be switching on and off. And then the other guys around us. Our teammates are very good. We got DJ. He's a very, very deep threat to us. He's probably one of the best shooters I've ever seen. We got Anthony Lawrence and Sam Wardenberg, who are stretch four men. We got DeJuan Hill inside and Ibuka and Zindu inside. We got Chris Likes, and we got Lonnie Walker. So we just so deep, and we're just so talented. And I think if we put it together defensively, I think we're going to have a very special year.
Miami, thank you. Good luck this year.